What's going on, everybody? This is Michael T. Johnson II here with Faithful and Fresh. Shout out to the faithful few. Shout out to all the followers, subscribers, those that cash app, those that support the channel with comments, likes. Much appreciated. We're going to get right into it. But first, starting off with the fragrances of the day, of the night, of the evening. Coming in with the candle is going to be your Black Honey Vanilla, again from Target. Man, I cannot lie. If you are a guy, I'm going to just tell you, man, Target is a great spot to meet women. It just is, man. It just is. Sorry, I know it's all that DEI stuff, but Target is a great place to be able to pick up the girls. Obviously there's no better place than church. But let me make sure this jazz level is good on this music, and if it's, I'm gonna make sure it's right. Yeah, there we go. All right, so I wanted to jump on that. I hope I'm doing this right. I've grown up into a somewhat self-sufficient media specialist. And so I'm hopefully, shout out to everybody on the YouTube, all the subscribers, shout out to the Facebook, shout out to my Instagram, and of course, last but definitely not least, shout out to the faithful few. All right, so I appreciate y'all, all the people that just came aboard within the past couple of days, man. We appreciate you. I kind of like this color scheme a little bit. I'm going for a little bit more moodier of a feel. So if y'all don't mind, I'm going to change this around. If you guys are wondering how do I do this with my lights, free game is that I use, oh, this is not right. Tokyo. I use Philips Hue lights, and they have came in clutch for me. All right, so let's get to it. Let me check. I am running this all one stream, and I want to make sure that we are good. Oscar, J. Cole, what's happening on the Instagram? Cole, I'm going to hit you up. 4 years. What's happening? 4 years. Hey, I don't know exactly what you mean when you say 4 years, but 4 years definitely using the Philips Hue lights. I'm going to call you after this, Jacob. One of the Patreon Silver membership supporters goes crazy on the let's see if I can figure out a way to, I don't know if they'll let me do it. Yep, there we go. All right. If you are joining through Facebook or Instagram, man, make sure you just type something in the comments, because contrary to popular belief, when you get on this and you are streaming one time through all these platforms, they don't really show you who goes in and out like in the Instagram would. So if you're in Facebook or you're joining in from YouTube Live, type something in the comments. Let me know that you're here. Obviously, Instagram is its own. Right on. Jared, I appreciate you. And so that lets me know kind of where y'all fall in. Instagram is its own kind of entity, so it allows me to just see everybody's that gets in. But in the fragrance of the day, I double back on this is Lafayette Street by Bond Number 9. Some people love Bond, some people don't. But I promise you, Bond Number 9, Lafayette Street. Ooh. When you think about walking into Saks Fifth, when you think about walking into just a designer luxury store, you think, but not in like a commercial way. I'm talking about like in a homey, but like a homey space, a sexiness, a luxurious type of look. This is what you want to smell like right here. That's what you want to smell like. Woo. That's what you want to smell like. Trust me. So if you get a chance and you get an opportunity and you're like, yo, however you know me and you're like, hey, Mr. Johnson, MJ, Mikey, whatever part of you knows me, and you're like, I'm gonna take you up on a fragrance. This is what you want to do. This is what you want to do. All right. It is all season, and yeah, it's just I don't want to cuss, but it's a effing beast. All right. So if you have seen the title, sorry if I'm coming in loud, coming in hot, but if you've seen the title, beautiful atomizer, you better believe it. I'm telling you, man. And it's a great smelling fragrance that pulls a lot of compliments. And that brings me to this point. If you see me, if you know me, and you're looking for advice on clothing, on cologne, if you're trying to get connected to people that I know that provide certain type of skills, whether they're professionals or resources, I'm so sorry, but I'm moving on to this. If you do not got a Patreon membership, I hate to do this, but I am not going to be able to give you my game. All right. If you're like, hey, I need mentorship. Hey, can you put me in contact with this? Hey, can you tell me the fragrances to get or whatever? If it's not on my YouTube, if you can't find it on Instagram, if you can't find it on Facebook, get the membership so you can be a part of the community. And the reason why is because this is the importance of having a community where I can make sure that we all connect, you guys. And that's the beauty of being able to have a community. You can't have community without unity. All right. That's a little bar right there. So the title of this, you know what? The title of this is Why You Love Being Average. All right. Why do you love to be average? All right. And I wish I had my iPad because I had a bunch of notes on there and I left it at home. But nevertheless, because the content is true to me, it is not an issue for me to be able to come right back and let you know what it is. All right. So why do you love being average? Okay. First of all, let's understand this. Average does not mean that you are less than. Okay? Average does not mean that you're less than of a person. All right? So there is an association when we hear the word average, and there is a part of people that doesn't want to be average. Now, that can happen for a variety of reasons. But nevertheless, the reason why people think that average is such a negative word because of the result, the lifestyle that an average person in America has. So when we talk about average earners, as I spoke in one of my Patreon videos, so all my faithful few members, they know that we talked about average earners being between that $40,000 to $55,000 range. Okay. Now, average just means the majority. That's just meaning like a little bit above halfway. That could be 6 people out of 10, that's going to determine what the average is. If the average person made $100,000, that's just what the average is. All right, the average height of a man, I believe, is 5'9", 5'10", somewhere in there. So if your average height, look, guess what? I'm 5'10". If the average height was 5'7", I was above average. Okay, I'm above average. But nevertheless, Oscar, you already gonna get a membership. So, but nevertheless, this is a thing in where now, that average is just that average, and so sugar-free, pure life, by the way. But nevertheless, I keep saying this word. I love that word, nevertheless. I think it's such like a polished word. I might say it like 4 more times throughout this live. So the average person in America just isn't living the lifestyle that most of you want. But how is it that so many people go through, let's say I'm in high school, I'm at the high school teaching level right now. So how is it that every year, as well as my graduating class, so many people want to make above average income, yet and still they fall to being average earners. They end up living average lifestyles. They end up having average relationships. Okay, how does this continue to happen? And I've come to realize that it's actually not predicated off of the family that you were born in, the place that you were born in, the school you went to, the color of your skin, your height, your weight, your eye color. It's not about any of those things. It's about the commitment to personal development. So let's move on. All right, why is it that you love to be average? First of all, let's come in straight off the gate. A lot of people don't want to be above average, and a lot of people want to be average because of the fact of the matter that they don't want the attention. They do not want the attention that comes with being above average. I know. You thought that you're okay with the attention. You were the clown maybe in school, sometimes here and there. Maybe you want the attention in your friends group, but when it came down to it, you actually didn't want the real attention. That when you walked into a business event, a networking event, and people are watching you, you don't like that. You didn't like that. So what ends up happening is that you don't want to be the peacock in a room full of chickens. Because at this point, the insecurity that you may be dealing with has placed you in a point where, placed you in a point where you're saying, well, if they're looking at me because it must be something wrong. And that couldn't be far from the truth. Maybe it is something wrong with you. I'll be honest with you. There was a lot of stuff that was wrong with me. And that's another video, but how insecurities help shape me into being secure. That's a great video that I'll have at some point. Nick, what's happening, baby? Dewan, what's happening, man? And so those things created a element of security for me. But you have to start getting used to being able to get some attention. Now, I'm not just talking about just being able to get the attention from a nice outfit like my guy Dewana put on. Cool shoes, drippy outfit. Man, they got purple jeans on. They got this, they got that. They got the tats, they got the money sleeves. And then they can get the attention for that. But I'm talking about the attention that actually leads to a transaction that leads to a certain lifestyle that equals freedom. All right. So a lot of people want to stay average because they're afraid of the attention. And sometimes that attention is from those that we love dearly. There's a lot of people that are afraid to, like, I'll give you an example. Let me make this clearer. There's sons or daughters that are afraid to shine because they're afraid of what their parents are going to say if they make more money than their parents. And then the parent says, who you think you are? Just because you think you make some money, that don't mean nothing. I'm still your dad. I'm still your mom. And that person starts to take that and say, man, you know what? Maybe it actually isn't for me to actually have more than what my parents had. Maybe it's not for me to do better than everybody else in my family. I mean, what is so special about me? And they're afraid of getting that attention because at this point, when they get the attention that is leading them to a lifestyle that they want, and I'm not talking about being an attention whore. I'm talking about being able to rightfully and righteously take the attention, provide a service, get the transactions, and then be able to pay for a lifestyle that you actually want. Now, we're going to do that legitimately, nevertheless, but don't be afraid to have attention. Do not, let me say this, do not be afraid to attract attention. All right? Do it in a legitimate way, not a criminal way. And what usually ends up happening is we're taught, man, keep your head down low. Don't make too much noise. If you do this, you do that, you're going to bring attention to you. And then when they bring attention to you, that's more light on you that might help get you fired, might help you get removed, might help you get replaced. But do not, never worry about being able to attract attention. That's a great thing. In all businesses, you want to be able to attract attention. The word for attention in business is just advertising, which is marketing. So don't be afraid to attract attention. Another reason why you like to be average is because you're scared to ask questions. All right, this is a tough one. The reason, I know you don't get it right now. How is it that I love being average because I don't like asking questions? Because the help that you need in this point, you're not asking the right questions to get the right solutions. And the reason why you don't ask for questions is a plethora of reasons. Maybe you've asked for help before, and the person that you asked, maybe they gave you the wrong answer. Maybe they tried to gatekeep. Maybe, they told you the wrong information. I don't know if I just said that twice, but maybe these are those things. Maybe these are the reasons of why you're using that excuse saying this is why I don't ask for questions. Maybe you got the solution from the person, you did it, and then after you did it and you got the result that you wanted, this person came back around and said, look at that. I'm the person that made you. I'm the reason why you become successful. I'm the reason why you jumped over that hurdle. And you got a lot of people like that. You got a lot of people that can't wait for you to do or carry out the advice that they give you so that they can go tell everybody. They can go tell everybody. And then what did that do to you? You end up finding a way to say, okay, yeah, I got this result, but don't get it twisted. I didn't need you. And then your pride gets involved. And then guess what? You stop asking questions, you go into your shell, and you end up being average. Anti-socialism was created to keep you broke. Oh, man, I'm antisocial, man. I don't F with niggas. If you're still playing this antisocial lifestyle where when you walk in a room, you're just quiet and you don't want to take up no space, and you're going to be broke. Now, I'm not saying that there's not jobs out there where you can be on a computer and do some e-commerce stuff and make some money, but I'm telling you, if you are saying, I don't mess with people and I'm antisocial, you're going to be broke. You're going to be broke. You're going to be broke. Now, you're going to end up being an average parent. You're going to be an average spouse. And that's at best. That's at best. If you're antisocial, it's at best you're going to be average. So what we have to do is we have to get to a point where we're asking high quality questions so that we can get high quality solutions. All right. So don't be afraid to ask questions. The other part of it is maybe you're not asking questions because you're just uncoachable. Maybe you love to be average because of the fact of the matter that you just aren't coachable. And the reason why you aren't coachable is because you choose to be uncoachable. It ain't nothing wrong with you. You got too much ego and you got too much pride. And how is it that it's the poorest people, the most average or below average people in this world got the most pride? See, like it's funny to me that I think that people that might have had like millions of dollars and then they end up making like $50,000 a year, like they drop off. Those are people that might end up might being more valid to have pride issues because they're used to having millions of dollars and no longer do they. Those are people, not the people that just been broke all their life. I remember I got my boy for Nick in here. So uh, I remember, obviously I had high school class that I taught, and he was in it. And I ended up saying like, hey, you know, pretty much asked him, how many years have you went without having designer clothes? And he was like, all my life. And so I said, yo, what's wrong with a couple more years? What's wrong with a couple more years of not having designer? You done went through 17, 18, 19 years of not having designer. And you don't got the lifestyle that you want. What's wrong with saying, I'm cool on a purple jeans. I'm cool on whatever cool stuff. I don't wear that much cool stuff no more. The most cool thing I might put on is a Nike Elite, a Nike Tech outfit. But when it comes to, Gucci and Louis and all of this stuff that we even try to buy at a replica level, why? You went most of your life not having it. And now at this point, because you're so ready to get recognition, you're so ready to look a certain type of way, that is now created you to have an impatience with coaching that's actually going to get it for you the right way, but it's going to probably take some time. All right. If you're in your 25s, Maris, what's happening, boy? If you're in your 20s and you don't got designer, look, I'm not telling you that you never should ever have it. But if you're in your 20s and you're not making the money that you want, stop trying to get designer clothes. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. Trust me, you will be perfectly fine if you don't have that Gucci belt. That look, you will be okay. Trust me. You'll be okay if you don't have a Scat Pack. Wait your time. Wait your turn. Develop yourself and end up learning how to end up solving people's problems. Let me move on but coachability is big when it comes to being above average. I used this example before. If y'all seen this reel, which I have, and I know you have, man. If you haven't, I might have not put it out. LeBron James got a coach. Michael Jordan had a coach. Wayne Gretzky got a coach. Alex Ovechkin got a coach. Messi, he got a coach. Serena got a coach. Tiger Woods got a coach. Floyd Mayweather got a coach. What about you? It's so special that you don't need to be coachable. It's just so crazy to me that every year when I've been following high school sports, college sports, even professional sports, the people that make it in these places understand how to be able to take straight on constructive criticism and sometimes even destructive criticism because they're coachable. The coach say something the wrong way, they just like, you know what? Hey, listen, I'm just going to do it. Yeah, they pride and egos into it, but guess what? They still figure out a way to make the adjustment. Why? Because the result is more important than their feelings. All right, we got to get to that point. And if you want to be above average, you got to be able to do that too. Everything ain't going to be said to you in the tone that you like. Everything ain't going to be said to you in a packaged way that your ego can always take. It's not just going, come on, bro. It's not always going to be in a way in which, it doesn't offend your ego. All right. So when you start to feel like, man, you can't talk to me like this and talk to me like, okay, why not? Why not? Why not? Slow motion is better than no motion. Shout out to Mr. Merriweather. All right. This is important. The reason why a lot of people now this is a for sure fact. I gotta take a sip on this one. A lot of reasons of why most people, we hear this word all the time, most people end up becoming average people or below average is because of mindset. All right, specifically a poverty mindset. Now I'll give you an example. I might lose some people with this because they just don't like this kind of stuff. And it happens a lot more with people. It's more relevant with people because most people are average people. They have average thinking way in which they go about life. All right. If you answer yes to this question, then this applies to you. This second part will apply to you. All right. Have you ever been to the movies? Yes. Most of us have. Have you ever snuck food into the movie theaters? Probably yes. Maybe some candy. Do you still do it? If you are still sneaking food into the movie theaters, you have a poverty mindset. If you don't like the word poverty, then let's just go blue collar. All right. You have a mindset that is exposed through this scenario, through this situation. Well, how I'm not about to pay all this money for to get in, to get into the movies and then pay for popcorn and all this stuff. And let me tell you something. That movie theater, the pricing to those Raisinets, those Sour Patch Kids, that Diet Coke, that Sprite, that Icy, that piece of pizza, the price that you don't want to pay that they got in there is exposing something that's inside of you. That's just saying, hey, I got enough money to get in, but I don't have enough money to actually just be like, hey, I want that, I want that, I want that. Money's not an issue. So somebody might say, well, how is that? Because your mindset is saying at this point, well, why am I going to pay for a bottle of water that's $5 or $6 here when I can go get that same water bottle from the store for $2 or $1 or whatever? You're trying to find out ways to discredit why somebody's charging what they're charging. That is how average people stay average, or some people end up becoming below average, because they're allowing the price to dictate what they do and don't want. When you start to get to a point in your life where you're starting to say, okay, I see that this is the price of something. How can I afford it? See, the thing is, let me ask you this. If you had $1 million and you went into the movie theater, would you still sneak food in? You know what the sad thing is? Somebody's still saying, yeah, I would. It's your mindset. So it's hard to grow somebody up from that when they don't understand what a poverty mindset is. And most people don't care that they have a poverty mindset. That's why they end up being impoverished. Sorry. Some people don't want to be above average because they're afraid to lose people. All right, let me tell you something. The bottom is crowded. The place where average people lay is crowded. It's crowded. It's enough of them. As you start to move up, you're going to see the jealousy, the envy, the bitterness, the hatred that they have for you. And some of us don't realize who those people are because we wallow in the mud with them. And when you wallow in the mud with them, you're not realizing, oh man, no, this is my bro. No, this is my girl. No, this is my family. No, this is this person. I've known this person since grade school. I know this person in high school. This is my high school sweetheart. This is my wife. This is my husband. This is my mom. This is my dad. And at this point, the only reason you haven't lost them is because you gave up being above average. It's not worth giving up your dream to hold on to nightmares. Woo! It is not worth giving up your dreams to hold on to a nightmare. Wow. A collection plate almost needs to go around right now for that. That was straight off the dome. No cap. Another reason why some people want to, because let me be honest with you. Most people that watch a little bit of this live, a lot of it go in and out. Most people, honestly, are going to be average people. And I'm not saying that because I know everybody that's on this call, and I don't know what I said on this call, on this live, I don't know everybody's on there. But I can tell you, based off a law of large numbers, most people that check this video, watch a quick second of it, whatever, they're going to be average. All right. And the reason why is because they just found a way to get comfortable with it. All right. And they've been okay with not functioning at a high level. Let me ask you this question. When is the last time that you stretched? Like full body, really, really stretch. Full body, really, really, really stretched. When's the last time you actually really stretched? All right. And why did I ask that? Because if you haven't stretched in a while, you figured out a way to move day to day with your muscles, your body being tense. Now, your feet might hurt, your back hurt, you might get headaches, whatever, whatever. You figured out a way to function with that tightness, with that tension. All right. And that's the same thing that we do in life. You're not making the money. You're not having the relationships. You're not having the friendships. You're not going to places that you want. You're not being the person that you want to be. And you found a way to deal with the disappointment where it starts to look like complacency. It starts to look like complacency, y'all. Starts to look like complacency. Oh, no. I messed something up. All right, so oh, man, I don't even want to say this one. Man, I really don't even want to say this one. Should I even say it? You're going to end up being average because you think you know it all. You're going to be average because you think you know it all. Oops. Dang, Johnson, don't go there with him. Don't hurt him. Don't hurt him, big dog. They're going to end up being average, man, because they think that they know everything. Hey, man, why don't you try this? Why don't you do that? Yeah, man, I know. I know. I'm going to do that. That's what I've been thinking. Every time you talk, no, man, hey, why don't you go and do social media? No, man, I thought about that, man, but the reason why I don't want to do it is because of this. Yeah, man, I thought of that one. Yeah, every time that you talking to somebody, they every single time, they know it all. Let me pose a question to you. Is it possible that you've exhausted everything that you can do already? That the place that you're at in your life right now happens only literally because you've exhausted everything that you can do because of everything that you are right now. You've exhausted what you do because your being is already locked in at it. So let me say it this way, because I'm sorry, I'm multitasking, which made me broken in my speech. If you still stay with me after I just said that, I mean, I love you. I dang near might have to send you some money on Cash App. I'm so sorry. I messed up my screen. Is it possible? Let me say this with my full attention. Is it possible that you've done everything that you can do? Every idea, everything that you have came up with, you've already fully exercised it, and it still isn't working for you. Maybe you got some answers, but you don't got the execution part. And maybe you have finally just actually exhausted everything that you actually can do because you have exhausted who you are as a person. Maybe you are not doing better because you are not being better. And maybe that's the reason why you keep getting this hamster wheel type of result. I think that makes dang good sense. I think that made dang good on sense. But the issue is that too many people that don't have the result think that they know it all. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? How many people actually have the lifestyle that you want that is around you, that you actually listen to? Not that they got one aspect of your lifestyle. They got like at least 3-4 kind of boxes checked for you. And they're saying, hey, listen, do this, do that. Don't do this anymore. Don't do that. Don't go here. Don't go there. And you don't listen to them. And just be honest. It's because you think you know it all. I just realized my music wasn't on anymore. And now because you think you know it all and nobody wants to coach you anymore, now you start blaming other people as to why you are average. I was in my sales class today, and I was talking to my teacher, and we were just talking about different situations. And I was telling him about this quote that I used to write on a board when my first couple of years of teaching. It was one of those years. Maybe it might have been up there all three. But the quote was, it's not your fault if you were born broke, but it is your fault if you die broke. All right. And the whole point of this is, hey, maybe you weren't born with a high level of emotional intelligence. Maybe you weren't even born with a whole bunch of just intelligence. Maybe you didn't have the social skills. Maybe you don't have the speaking skills. Maybe your mom was, a single parent. Maybe your dad wasn't in your life. Maybe you were born in the wrong city. But it's your fault if you are not doing the work now. Gotta let go of the resentment, the bitterness, what's the word I'm looking for? You gotta let go of the grudges. All right, be free. Understand that it's going to take some time to be able to build up the skill set that you're going to need. See, people start looking at a journey and they start saying, well, man, I'm not going to be able to do it today. I'm not going to be able to do it in 1 week. So then they stop doing it. And then they blame other people for, man, well, I would have been there if I would have got this when I was a kid. If my dad and my mom showed me how to deal with money, I wouldn't have had this issue. If my mom and dad was giving me the books when I was younger, then I would have, all right, okay, maybe that's true. Maybe you would have been effing further along. But guess what? It's not it now. What you gonna do? Oh man, well my dad, man, he used to always do this and he used to always do that. My mom used to do this and my grandma used to do this. My grandpa used to do that. Man, I had to struggle and do all this. You still blaming them for why you not really reaching and developing yourself. I'm so effing tired of that, man. I'm so tired of that, man. Bro, I'm so tired of that. I'm so tired of people holding up their future because they're blaming people in their past. I'm tired of that, man. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of people using excuses and using people and blaming other people for the lack of growth and the lack of character growth that they have in their life. I don't care about who hurt you. I don't care about what things didn't go your way. I don't care about how disappointed that you are with certain things. I really want to cuss so bad. It is your responsibility to do the work. And guess what? This is the reason why most people are going to be average, because they're still blaming their parents as a reason of why they're bad parents. They're blaming drug addictions and how drugs was around them because they're cousins, or, hey, I picked up porn this age because of this. Hey, this person did this to me. This person did this. This person took this from me. Dude, girl, put that work in. It's hard. I know it is. It's challenging. It's challenging. I get it. But you got to stop blaming other people for your development. It's too important. I'm so scared to die knowing that I didn't live the life that God wanted me to live because I blamed other people for me relinquishing my control that I had over my life. And the last thing is, before I leave y'all, I appreciate y'all. The last reason why most people will end up becoming average or below average is because of lack of faith. All right? Lack of faith. Why do you hold on to the grudge? Is it because you believe that God can't heal you? Why do you hold on to the principles that your parents teach you when God teaching you how to actually run up the bag? Why is it that you want to handle your relationships this type of way when God's saying that you don't even need to be in a relationship right now? You hold on to certain friends because you believe that they're actually for you when God's telling you no, they're not. You want to stay in a certain spot even though you know you're supposed to be gone. And you're doing it because it's lack of faith. And then you complain about the places that you stay. You complain about the friends that you have around you. You complain about the relationship that you're in. And let me be honest with you. There was a saying that I said that I heard that was so fire, and it was something along the lines. I believe it was Les Brown. I don't know if he heard it from somewhere else, but he talked about why is that people will choose known hells over unknown. Or I'm sorry, yeah, known hells over unknown heavens. It's something of that sort. But it was pretty much just saying, why would somebody hold on to something that they know is toxic instead of just the chance of something that's way, way more healthier, way more nutritional for them. Nutritious, I'm sorry. But this is what we, as I always say this, man, if you get a Patreon membership, you don't like it, you can always get your refund. I always say that. Why do I say it? Because you can always go back to your below average life if you want. You can always go back to your average life if you want. But not having a lack of faith is never going to be a great excuse on why to end up being average or below average. All right. And so I want to just come through and share that, man, with y'all. I messed up something on my doc, so I cannot see. You know what? I'm lying. I think I just remember how to do this. I'm sorry if I couldn't see the comments from. Oh, yeah. I can see them now. I'm sorry. Those that was on Facebook, Josiah, Tim. Oh, man. Hey, Tim, what's happening, bro? Bro, that's what's up. Tim, Mr. Tim Clark, bro. Man, that's my guy. And, of course, First Lady Johnson. Good evening, Mrs. Johnson. Sorry I didn't see it. I messed up my doc. So the way that this computer is crazy. But you guys, y'all don't have to listen to me. So when I say you have to, I just say I'm sorry. But based off of the lifestyle that you're wanting and the things that you want to do, I really, truly believe as important as hell to make sure that you increase your level of faith. Whatever level that you're at, you need to know that there is some exercises, some situations that you're going to go through that's going to grow you up. Don't miss the opportunities because of a lack of awareness. Do not miss the opportunities to grow in life because of lack of awareness. I'm telling y'all right now, man, let me just say this, and I promise to God I'm done. If I can remember how to end this live after I get done saying this. This week has been one of the most dopest weeks of my social media life, but it also has had these little hiccups and things that at a point in my life would have derailed me and deterred me from continuing to move on. Yesterday, let me give y'all a real thing. Yesterday, I have a bunch of different good things that happened throughout the day. A couple different things that was more like stress threatening. And I come to the shop to go. I was about to do a video so that I can put on my Patreon. All right. And so I get to doing this video, and the whole time that I get to my studio, like this thought enters my head, like, why don't you just go find a drug to go do or go take a drink? Just, you know what I mean? Hey, listen, you're doing a lot of work. You did a lot of good stuff. Man, just go ahead and take a drink. Go ahead and go get some drugs. Now, I don't do none of that stuff. I don't do those type of things. But because of this situation, man, and what ended up happening was, I'm like, man, maybe I could. Maybe I could just go ahead and get a drink. Maybe I could go and go get weed or go get an edible or go do something like that. And then I'm like, man, I get done with the video and I'm like, man, yeah, you can still do that. Like, not me. The thought pattern that I have is, man, yeah, you can go ahead and go do that. Everybody else doing it, man. One night, you can do it. Take a couple shots. Go do an edible. You can go to sleep. All right. That was the thought that entered my mind. That was the thought that entered my mind. Then I started thinking about, I said, man, that's not the type of leader that I want to be. That's not the type of leader I want to be. It's not the type of father I want to be to my children. Now, that's the other part of my mindset, right? I could have missed that opportunity to grow because of lack of awareness. The next day, which is today, I wake up and man, I was so happy when I woke up. And because I always say that, I really believe that my life is like a movie. And the reason why I was so happy is because I looked at it and I said, man, you know what? That type of opposition came because I'm going in the right direction. All right. And at that point, I seen that that was a faith exercise. I have had some success doing this, having my Patreon, talking to people, asking them to get it. Some people get it, some people don't. Some people say they will, whatever. But I have had what I would call a level of success with my social media, my content, putting it out, getting reels, just started TikTok, all of this stuff, which I'm gonna make sure I put in. I got my TikTok going, y'all. So I haven't had a view yet because I haven't added anybody. I'm learning it, which is funny. But I had this progression, and I had something that wanted to take away my momentum. I was aware of that only through the Spirit of God. Only through. If it wasn't God that was in me that was talking, let me tell you, this would not have been sugar-free sweet tea. But nevertheless, I told you I was going to say it again. Nevertheless, I ended up understanding, that candle smelling so good. I understood that God was trying to show me that at this point, trust me, let me be your relief. Lean on me. I'll direct your path. Hey, bring to me all this heaviness. Just give it to me. And I'm like, man, God, I don't know. I kind of like holding on to this. I ain't gonna lie. I done figured out a way to kind of, you feel me? And God, I done kind of figured out a way. I kind of like holding on to it. I kind of think I got this one. God, I ain't gonna even bother you. I got this one. It's on me. I'm Michael T. Johnson II. God, you don't know who you're talking to. I know how to handle this light work to me. But no, this is the reality. This is what it was. And so for you guys, I don't want you to miss the opportunity to grow your faith. Where is God trying to grow you in your faith? Where is God saying that you're above average when you're trying to tell him that you're below average? Man, that's good. Talk to him, Mr. Johnson. Talk to him. Where is that God is telling you that you're above average? Well, you're telling him that you're average, you're below average. I said I was gonna be done, so I'm done. Good night. I'll catch you next time. I appreciate y'all. I love that y'all came on here, and I'll catch you next time. So, as I always say, until then, stay faithful, my friends. Peace.